Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good morning, viewers. It's 36 minutes past 11, the hour, top of the hour. We want to thank all of you who have listened to us in the first show. This is Punchline Africa Television, the only online, the first online television in Kenya in the last 6 years. We have been here broadcasting left and right, north and south, east and west. We have touched on problems of Africa all the time, making sure that Africa rises and shines again, making sure that Kenya keeps the legacy of President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. We have stood firm for Africa to make sure that international agencies don't come to harass Africa. The ICC, the ICJ, and other obnoxious bodies that maraud and walk the continent fail to say what the truth is, but instead fabricate lies about Africa. We have debunked senseless theories that destroy Africa. As a television station for the last 6 years, we have made, and we continue to make strides into the media fraternity, the social media fraternity, the print fraternity, the video fraternity, and others that fall in the category of television vision. We are not missionaries. We are visionary. When we started this television station together with many of our friends, many of you saw, and many of you were not aware of online television. I remember one of my friends who is very knowledgeable, educated, asking me, which television is this? But today, the area, the angle, the operations have changed. Every television station in Africa, in the world, has got what we call online customers. They interact, they talk, they air views, they answer back, they ask questions. That is the angle that Punchline Africa Television would like to excel, to take our views across to the people of Kenya and the people of East Africa and the people of Africa in an integrated legacy. The legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta in Kenya, therefore, forms part and a parcel of an integrated Pan-African stand that we in Africa, we, the younger generation, or those that come after we have gone towards Jerusalem, will emulate. The entire Africa reels from partly external pressure, human rights abuses, intrigue, and many other manipulations that take place across the continent of Africa, from Nigeria, the bigger state, that sinks every day, that stinks every day with reports of human rights abuses meted on their own people, to the Boko Haram killers, to Al-Shabaab killers across in East, to Central Africa, and now to Ethiopia. Africa bleeds. But Africa bleeds because of politics of intrigue. Is it the politics that kills Africa? Every part of our conflict starts with the letter P. If you look at Nigeria, a huge state of 200 million people, what kills Nigeria is the letter P. Look at Central African Republic. What has killed Central African Republic is the letter P. Look at Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, Somalia. Everybody in those countries will tell you Nigeria will suffer because of bad politics. Not because we have no food. There's plenty of food that can grow in Nigeria. There's plenty of food that can grow in Democratic Republic of Congo. There's plenty of food that can grow in Somalia. There's plenty of food that can grow in Central African Republic. There's plenty of food that grows in Ethiopia. If we wanted to plant the food peacefully, with good politics and a good governance. The word is B. The letter is B. If there is anybody who knows why conflicts occur in Africa and the politics is not involved, put up your hand on this show. You got the conflict in Mozambique, is still politics. Politics of distribution, of politics of inequality. Lack of equity comes from the word politics. Bad politics and the politics of intrigue, therefore, can plunge a country into chaos. And believe me or not, those watching me across the globe, across African continent, we have bad politics on our continent. We have people who practice bad politics. Start politics of Machiavelli. Nikolai Machiavelli. If you read the book, The Prince, it will tell you all. Across the continent, on your own at a free time, look at your leader on the African continent and ask him which type of politics is he playing. Is he playing Machiavellian politics? Look at in Kenya. Today we have leaders who are playing politics of intrigue. The legacy trend therefore says politics of intrigue leads to politics of violence. The word P again is found in Kenya. Kenya stands out for me because it is the only state that has got relative peace. It's the only stable democracy that has tried and tries to put the rule of law, the rule of governance, the rule of not driving cars upside down. Kenya has tried. But when you look at the current situation, today, this morning, when I woke up at 4, I always wake up at 4, whether what or what, whether I've slept 1 minute to 4, I'll wake up at 4. I've trained my body, my soul, and my life to wake up at 4 to work for Africa. I might not see the better Africa tomorrow, But my children and my future grandchildren and the future generation will see the better Africa. That's why I speak. I wrote a letter which I wanted you to look at. It is online. You can have it. But in this letter, I made it very categorical. I quoted Shakespeare. He said, "Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, 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 Lord." When I looked at the deputy president's approach of politics in Kenya, I said, "Oh my Lord, my Lord, my Lord." Because it is the politics that is going to breed violence. It is the politics that is being preached. That worries me. Don't cry for me. Jesus was telling the women of Jerusalem, I'm not Jesus Christ, and I'm not going to equate myself to Jesus Christ. But I'm a simple human who still maintains that before Kenya goes out to any elections, let Kenya do a redemption strategy. Whether you like me or you hate me, it's up to you. You can hate me the way you want. I am not bothered. But the situation where politics of intrigue has played a pivotal role, where politics of undermining, besmirching, belittling the head of state when he's still in power has taken place. You can never have the politics of sanity. You will always end up with the politics of violence. And it is this violence that most people have said, oh my God, what do we do when they come for us? William Ruto, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, still remains the spin master of lies. Sometimes I fail to understand what he really stands for. And at times I feel for the people, just as William feels maybe for his people in his heart when he tells a lie. There is a cult that you see in UDA that does not even know that a lie has been told. The legacy trend, therefore, has found out that there is a problem. That once a man starts telling a lie and makes it consistently, it might become true. Falsehood does not build a democracy. Falsehood brings divisions, intrigue, and destruction of a state. I looked at the book of The Animal Farm, George Orwell. There was an animal called the sheep. It kept on talking about 4 legs and 2 bad legs. Too good, 4 legs are good. Too bad is very bad. Even when the pigs, you remember that story, we kept on saying, we are taking the farm. Are the people of Kenya seeing the question of George Orwell in his book? If you haven't grabbed a copy and you're a student grappling with political science, grab a copy. And you're a voter in Kenya, grab a copy and read. My role here to protect the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta, I will stand firm and show you the direction. It's up to you. You might like the direction, you might not like. His Excellency, the Deputy President, William Ruto, is a turncoat and a quizzling. Turncoats and quizzlings in political science always forget what they ate last night. To the extent that when you talk about what you ate last night and you come and beat your wife because you did not produce the same food last night, but in actual sense, you don't know what you ate last night. That is what William Ruto is. Take it to the bank. That William Ruto has forgotten that he was Moi's minister. He played a pivotal role before even Kenyatta came into existence to be KANU member. As a KANU member, he helped to destroy us. There are certain people who still have wounds. But here he comes and says, I was spent 30 years fighting. 30 years fighting imperial president. We spent, what a lie. When you come out to lead a country good like Kenya, be prepared to be scrutinized. Be prepared to have scrutiny. Let people know where you get your money. Most of you call me Ugandan, but this guy gets money from my country. Evidence which I don't want to table here, which can make some people here hate everything. But it will come out one day. For us, we don't want to be involved in theft. We are poor people. Most of us are diaspora Ugandans, refugees working in different capacities, abroad, citizens of the global world. We don't want to be involved in Harun Ayadin style of one telephone call, you have the money. It is very embarrassing for you to go and lie to a state and make us look stupid, make our entire presidency to look like there is something which is worth here. It's not worth it. We have realized ourselves that we made a mistake in the future. I don't speak for the government of Republic of Uganda, no. I speak as a Ugandan. I can disagree with the elder head of state, but we fought Idi Amin together. We are all fighters who brought freedom. We played a part in making our country peaceful. We wouldn't like to involve people who do money laundering and other activities to bring such stupidity to our state. No. A lie is a lie. It remains a lie. Abraham Lincoln said, you can fool people all the time, but not every time. Others you fool, others discover how you fool them. William Ruto goes around and takes the the whole credit of all the projects that President Uhuru Kenyatta has done. And at the same time, he turns around and said, I failed the BBI. I failed it. I failed the BBI. I made sure that reggae stops. Hallelujah. Kenyans, it is your choice. The choice to choose between Intrigue Joseph Manasseh. I am a man who has the facts. I am not only talking about that, and that is part of where the problem sprang from in Sudan, because you did not analyze the core of Sudan, of South Sudan. All what you want to see is good things only talked, but you don't want to discuss. And I'm not here to be policed by you to discuss what I want. This station educates the community. It is politics, bad intrigue, which causes problems. If you love Ruto, open up, the PIN number is there. Come and challenge me. Don't hide in Denmark and start throwing stupidity over my platform. This is a platform that you can listen to if you want. And for me, why I say Ruto, I have been educative. And I'm educating you. You are my friend. A conflict. You come from South Sudan, my brother. I'm a great friend of both the leaders. A great friend of Mo, of Riek Machar. And I've stood firm. When the people rejected Riek Machar, I made the first telephone call when the fight had just begun. When they rejected him in South Africa, I made the first call. I made the first call to Riek Machar and shouted to the world that if peace is to return to South Sudan, one of the participants in the peace process should be left free. Manasseh, I don't take prisoners in my reasoning, because I read politics to the last iota on planet Earth. Show me. Give me an exam now here. I'll do it without going back to the books. I therefore want to submit to you that intrigue, politics of intrigue, politics of Machiavelli, Nikolai Machiavelli, the prince, read those books. The Plato Republic does not talk of politics of intrigue. A state that goes democracy, that wants democracy, is a state that can build Africa tomorrow. Not a state that starts to build brick by brick based on violence. You are South Sudanese, you have seen what has happened. Across in Nigeria, you have seen what is a sinking state presided over by Buhari, as the state rots into, decays into chaos. All parts of Nigeria, abduction of small young girls, defilement, rape, torture, cutting limbs in the north, or using Islamic Sharia law. These are the obstacles of our Africa. And we must talk about them as Africans. On the question of Kenya, it is very important that Kenya observes a redemption strategy. A redemption strategy that will create harmony. What is a redemption strategy, therefore? Because when I talk about redemption, some Kenyans ask me, What is redemption? This man talks about redemption. But before I explain what redemption is, there's one thing I learned from South Sudan. When I went to South Sudan in 2005 and 2006, you could sleep when your door was open. When I went to South Sudan, I could leave my door open with my briefcase. And in the morning, you wake up, the briefcase is there. Even your gun is there. Your bodyguard is there. Nobody has opened. Even your bodyguard sleeps. Nobody steals the briefcase. They bring you your pen. If you have lost a phone, they used to bring the phone. Today, the lack of redemption strategy destroyed South Sudan. The lack of unity redemption strategy has destroyed Nigeria. Nigeria is gone. A giant in Africa is sinking into Atlantic Ocean because it lacks the word P. I stand for the people of Africa, the people of Biafra. And I will always stand. I will always tell Buhari my feelings. Yesterday on the biggest radio station in Nigeria, I told my feelings. I did not hide. The problem of Nigeria is not imprisoning people. It is a political problem without intrigue. Solve the political situation. Give them a referendum if they want. They go their way. Imprisoning so and so, Namdi Khan or this or another Yoruba man can't solve Nigeria's problem because the politics of Africa is full of intrigue. The people near the courtyard, in the court, tell you to imprison so and so, but you can't solve the problem of Nigeria by imprisoning 1 million people. I was very candid yesterday, and over 50 million people listened. They have called for a replay, bring the guy back, because I don't hold the horse. I tell it as it is. If Namdi Khan had told me, and I'm addressing Uche Angel, if Namdi Khan had told me where he was and where he wanted to do the interview from, I would not have interviewed him. I would have guided him as a young man fighting for freedom. I'm older than him by about 10 years ahead of him. I would have told him what to do. I didn't know where his interview was, and I don't know, I don't want to even to know where. I am very disappointed that had I been told that this was going to affect anybody, I would not have taken the interview. I did not request for the interview. He requested for the interview. But what he didn't do, he did not tell me where he was. Because on Zoom, if I was interviewing him on the phone by direct audio, I would have known that this phone was in Kenya or this phone was in London. But with Zoom, you can't tell. I did not know. So whatever happens, the pressure is being built. The people in Nigeria are talking. The Attorney General and other people, international agencies. The British government has come in, is talking. One day he will get a chance to explain how he got into this drama. the question of insulting people, insulting President Uhuru Kenyatta. Kenyatta did not go to the streets. People operate anywhere. You remember Buhari went to London to abduct Umar Diko. But Britain is a big state. But they found Umar Diko in a coffin in Stansted Airport. The Queen did not direct. The Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher did not direct. People found out later on, someone had already put Umar Diko in a coffin. And that is Buhari's tactics. He can do anything anywhere. So for you blaming and insulting President Uhuru Kenyatta every day, it doesn't pay. Kenya has told you they don't accept that. So many people live here. Kenya is a country of refugees. They are not abducted every day. Therefore, the case is in court. We can't discuss it. And I want my people, the Biafran people who support me. You have never given me a penny, even $1, to support you. I want the people of Amazonia whom I've been standing for. You have never given me $1. I stand for you. Biafra, I stand for you. Because my ancestors told me that politics of intrigue can cause problems. Stand for the right thing, and that is what I have done. Come back, watch this television. You are my people. Brick by brick, we shall win the confidence of international community. Who knew that Saif Gaddafi could be alive? Who among you wrote a letter to the British government to tell the British government to intervene so that Saif Gaddafi should not be killed? I am here. I'm here. Muammar Gaddafi never gave me 1 penny, $1. Saif Gaddafi never gave me $1. But I wrote a letter defending Saif Gaddafi. He's still alive today as a result of my making noise. He's going to contest. He's a younger man I met in London School of Economics. He came to give a lecture there. I was impressed. With Sir James Braithwaite together and other people, we got impressed. And the Baroness Simons. We saw a star that could bring about a quiet change to tell the father that, hey, things are going bad. But I've never seen Saif Gaddafi. The last I saw him was in London School of Economics. Up to today, he knows there's a friend who wrote a letter and urged the British government, please help this younger man. We can't kill the entire Gaddafi family. Because Gaddafi was a very good guy. There are things he did that were good. There are things he did that were bad. But he remained a good guy for Africa. Every place in Africa where you go, there's Gaddafi's mosque. There's Gaddafi's road. There's Gaddafi hostel. There's a Gaddafi chief. In Nigeria, there are chiefs. Gaddafi was trying to remodel Nigeria. Gaddafi was trying to remodel DRC Congo. That DRC Congo today should be reassembled. Hallelujah. How many people are going to be killed because of DRC Congo? I want to thank President Museveni for saying troops will enter DRC Congo now. Mzee, enda, rearrange it. big states in Africa that were put together without consent seem to be becoming a Yugoslavia of Europe because of politics of intrigue. I therefore submit the intrigue in Africa, the intrigue of political intrigue that we see can collapse empire, can collapse states, can collapse a company, can collapse any family. If you are in a family and somebody is intriguing on you, telling your wife something and telling your husband something, it can collapse. Social Africa will always tell you the same. I want to take this opportunity to tell you, in Kenya, political intrigue, the failure of a redemption strategy, which is, what is a redemption strategy? A redemption strategy is the healing that we see. A redemption strategy is a foundation. Are we together? Are you there? Sharon, are you there? Daniel,
Yes.
are you there?
Yes, I'm following the conversation.
So finally, redemption strategy is the following. 1, accountability. 2, truth telling. 3, reparations. 4, restitution. 5, reconciliation. And if you put these 5 factors, they will remove intrigue. Reconciliation removes intrigue. Accountability removes intrigue from politics, which is the letter P. Truth telling removes intrigue. Reparation, paying those you have hurt, removes intrigue. Restituting a state of those you deprived a state removes intrigue. And it leads to one letter called H. P plus the 5 is equals to H. With song I did mathematics. I hate mathematics, but I want you to get the theory. The theory is P plus 5 plus 5T A R is equals to H. Have we got it properly? Can the studio write that? I can write it so that as I make a conclusion, people will know what I'm talking about. A big P plus T A R is equal to H. It is like this. Sharon, I don't know whether you have seen it. The song, you've seen it?
Yes, Doc, I'm seeing it clearly.
That is the model. And all this leads to the letter R again, or RS, which is a redemption strategy. P plus TA RRR is equals to healing. Healing. The states in Africa have not healed from intrigue. The state in Kenya has not healed from intrigue. That's why you see what plays out in Kirinyaga yesterday. I submit. So I will give you a minute each. If you have something to say, 1 minute or so. I start with the lady of the legacy. What have you picked out from this editorial as we finish?
Thank you very much, Dr. Matanga, for your robust conversation. And it's quite interesting that I am currently on a book, titled The Mystery of Capital, and it was written by Hanado de Soto. And one thing he was talking about is, why capitalism triumphs in the West and actually fails everywhere. And one of the major things that I picked out from that book is that he kept on talking about leadership and governance, and you've talked much about politics and politics of intrigue, and something that I've the other day you also were talking about the need to actually rearrange, reassemble Congo, because I don't understand why a country with the largest and richest minerals, talk about gold, you talk about diamonds, yet they do not actually benefit them. Instead, they continue getting exploited from the West. You talk about a country that actually is the second poorest, in the world, but yet it is still, the country, the 11th largest country in the world, where people actually live within, less than $1 a day, which is quite ridiculous. So when you talk about politics of intrigue, it's something that is actually quite, quite quite commendable. And I was also trying to look at countries like Singapore, that we really equate with legacy of the leaders, and countries that are very minimal when it comes to size and actually very young, but it has actually managed to make its mark on the world with top-notch accolades. And now coming back to Kenya, and that is something that is actually ailing us, and you talked about redemption strategy, something that is very fundamental, especially right now that you're headed to elections. We have not healed from the past. People have so much that they are holding on. When you talk about memories of the post-election violence, that is something that people have not yet healed. You don't even talk about leaders, but even people, and it's really going to reflect so much even when it comes to the results. And for me, I agree, outrightly with you. There's a need for, a redemption strategy to enable us to actually heal from the past, to, give room for, just like the five words that you've given out, talk about accountability, truth telling, and much others. And also probably actually call out, because in Kenya, politics in Kenya is quite interesting, where someone who is actually second in command will actually lead in politics of deceit, talk about dishonesty, you talk about duplicity, someone who lives in, gives double standards. How do you endorse millionaires, yet you're trying to prove to people that you actually support the poor and you have an interest of the poor at heart? Talk about politics of handout, which is something that no one who is actually calling out, and it is something that has, continuously stirred up the pre-election violences that we had. As I conclude, you also talked about the Kirinyaga, showdown that was happening yesterday, and this is another, this is another pre-election, sort of violence, because you saw the people in, agitated citizens in Kirinyaga actually burning up, merchandise for Waiguru. And these are conversations that we keep, or should actually keep on going, and call out such kind of leaders. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Matanga.
Thank you very much, Wesonga. Briefly, thank you very much, Sharon, for that contribution and supplementary input. It all boils up to the word intrigue. Our television is a community television that teaches. It doesn't just walk or showbiz. We are not showbiz. We teach, we talk to people. Whether few of them, they will take the message. The clips are played. One day, look at my words. They will come back to haunt you. 5 years ago, I said about ICC. Isn't it back? It's going to be back. It's going to be a big subject. It will haunt you. Nobody wanted to listen about Wakemolo. I've talked about Nigeria 6 years ago. It is coming to the fruit, to the end. It is sinking, a giant. I talked about the bad manners of South Africa. I've just listened to President Ramaphosa lamenting. He went in bed with this man of Microsoft. Now his country is a target of where new diseases originate from. Because he erred. The first man whom Microsoft met, what is this? Bill Gates. When he came to Africa, collected the Strive Masiyiwa, collected the Ramaphosa, and they said, you Strive Masiyiwa, walk around and collect money to help Africa. Show me the budget. Where is the budget that Strive Masiyiwa collected money? Where are the medicines? Where is the medicine? We need accountability, Jermaine. This Yasser intrigue in Africa cannot help us. You remember that, Sharon, and that is Strive Masiyiwa, the Zimbabwean mafia, head of mafia of Zimbabwe, who demonizes his own country, that he wants to be the head collecting money, fundraising for Africa. Now, show me how much have you fundraised? How many countries in Africa have enough vaccine? Another disease has been manufactured. It is called like a Macron. It looks like a Macron of where?
Omicron.
Where?
Omicron.
Omicron. Is it Oni or Omicron?
Omicron.
Omicron. From South Africa. He's now on TV lamenting. If you switch on your TV, he's lamenting. Oh. He's causing us problems because his flights come here. Kenya Airways goes to South Africa. Tomorrow, they will ban Kenya Airways, and some of us have a quiz. Thanks God, I shouted yesterday and I tweeted to the secretary, to the health secretary, Jahid. How many of you know that Jahid is an African? I don't want you to tell the country where he comes from. You will think that Matanga is favored. Do you know where Jahid comes from? The Minister of Health for Britain. He comes from one of these African countries. His original fathers. And he has said, no, do you want to disrupt the Christmas? We are prepared for it. That's good. Otherwise, Kenya Airways would be fixed because it will be carrying passengers from South Africa. The only other thing that, before we summarize, please, the Minister of Health, South African papers are fake of PCR. Please, Nyonyo wa Kenya, if we don't speak our mind out, they forge papers. I've told you, I had guests who came, they were ringing back. Then I said, no. Here, you go today. You have to go and get the paper. They take you all things in the mouth, in the neck, in where they must then give you results. They were telling me I want to ring for my for my PCR5. You ring for it where? Minister of Health, check this. Take a document verifier at Jomo Kenyatta International Arrival. Please. I saw Susan Macheche, a very hardworking mama. Please, and Kagwe. I don't know where this man, Kagwe, has gone. And I don't know why, when people reach power, they forget their friends. Mutahi Kagwe, we have been together in the civil society. You were in the civil society. I was already an activist, not attached to civil society. You are my friend. You don't talk to me anymore. You see mistakes like this would be told to you directly. But let me use the TV here to tell you, Mutahi Kagwe, take a document verifier. Mr. President and other people and all agencies, the security hearing me, take a document verifier at the arrival at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. The PCR of South Africa are fake, most of them. 3/4 of them are fake. If somebody in Africa does not talk the truth, who is going to talk the truth? You bring us another disease where you are seated very nicely and we receive the disease because we want tourists. No. There are documents. You see, you do like a Dubai. Dubai has got a document verifier. The girl standing at the arrival, the girl standing at the arrival in international airport in Kenya. Only look at the paper like they are looking at their blouses. Hala, and you go. They don't know whether the document is fake or not. People are entering here from those countries with fake documents. Please, the main media is busy opening studios, impressing who? Impressing who? We shall all perish. We shall all perish. This television talks the truth. If you see somebody forging a document in order to travel, report him to the police. Me, if they say I'm sick, I'm not traveling, I will go and take a quarantine. I will not travel to injure my friends and kill so many people when you have a disease on the plane of COVID. Hala? Mutahi Kagwe, Honorable Minister CS, take a document verifier from the Ministry of Health to verify the PCR of South Africa. People coming from that region, they forge documents. They even in their hotels, they ring for the document to be sent from South Africa. Thank you very much, God. I've said my mind. If you people think Intrigue does not destroy, we're going to take it away in 1 minute for me.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Matsanga David. And of course, that has been a very, very powerful, robust, and far-reaching conversation in regards to matters Africa and in particular Kenya. And of course, as a people, we have become so complacent to the politics of intrigues in that we can get lied to over and over again without even realizing that we are being taken for a ride. And that is the politics that have actually retrogressively taken us aback, from the track of achieving whichever goals and visions that we have as a country. Today, as William Ruto moves around the country, telling people that President Uhuru Kenyatta brought BBI, an initiative that derailed the Jubilee Party agenda. Actually, he doesn't as well tell them that he's actually the person who is actually derailing the agenda of President Uhuru Kenyatta, and President Uhuru Kenyatta on the other side is trying to actually unite the country. So you realize that as African people, as Kenyans, we rely more on intrigues, and voters go on and vote based on those intrigues, which actually have far-reaching repercussions in terms of having a leadership that do not add up to the scale, a leadership that always ends up disappointing them. So I think based on on the conversation that you began, Dr. Matsanga, it is only noble for the people of Kenya actually to call for a sit down with themselves and realize that for us to achieve progress as a country, then we need to move away from the politics of intrigues. And it goes further even across the continent of Africa. You've talked about much intervention that you have done for the people of Africa, including for Saif al-Islam, the son of Muammar Gaddafi. If you wouldn't have done that, I believe our leaders will only have actually just sat back and waited maybe for actually one of the AU mission observers to Ethiopia, and he went there to oversee an election that was actually flawed, and his report was that the election was actually free, fair, and credible. Only after him leaving the country, and the country plunges into chaos. Now you realize the kind of ineptitude and the kind of negligence that those who are involved in the peace process can actually be. Going to get the same man who actually certified the incompetency and ineptitude of the Electoral Commission in Ethiopia, coming back to solve the same mess that he created. I think they can never be a closure on such a matter. So that shows you the kind of intrigue that we are actually always involved in. A man who cultivated a certain conflict being called back to actually solve that particular conflict. How fair will he be to the other side? Or maybe how will the other side even find the confidence to actually listen to whatever maybe terms and conditions that he brings on the table? So to me, I think these are conversations that Africa should actually be embracing, and Kenya specifically should actually embrace, and that comes through the people of Kenya looking at our politics not just as a profession or maybe as something that comes and passes with time, but something that has repercussions. Whichever way they vote, whichever narrative they embrace, it will always come with repercussions. And therefore, I truly and most ardently support you, Dr. Matsanga, on that particular note, that we should do away with the politics of theatrics and antics, and intrigues, so that we focus on the politics and the agenda of redemption, because it is only through the redemption strategy, which you have been preaching for quite a long time, that Kenya will be able to heal as a country and chart a common path of unity and prosperity. And without that, we're going to perish as a country, and Africa will actually be in chaos if we do not actually talk in terms of redemption strategy and forging a common path and embracing unity of purpose. I submit.
Thank you very much, viewers. Thank you very much, all my engineers, all the technical teams in the social media out there, all the mobile units, investigative researchers. Thank you very much, Miriam and others, Stephen and others. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. We shall continue to do that again very early in the morning tomorrow. But later on in the afternoon, we shall have diplomatic leaks at 3 p.m. East African Standard Time. We have diplomatic leaks. We want to look again. We don't want people to lose sleep, and they sleep forever. We want to keep on reminding them about the war in Ethiopia. We want to make sure that it is always that everybody know that there is a war in Ethiopia, which could bring disaster to us as countries neighboring Ethiopia. From the Punchline Africa Television, in the Kai Command Center, Political Command Center, back in Nairobi, you, Sharon Gitonga, Doug Wesonga, and the headquarters in Nairobi, Daniel Wesonga, Sharon Gitonga of the Legacy Train. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless Africa. I am Dr. David Matanga. Ciao.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.